Yo, welcome to another weekly edition of the Best Way to Smoke News, sponsored by none other than Cali Guy, the glue guard. Stop smoking, spit, people. I'm trying to tell you.
No drip lip.
And this news is being presented to you by none other than Sir Bo Jr.
Big J.
Trying to tell y'all, man. All right, right into it. Congressman tells DEA to reschedule marijuana as swiftly as freaking possible. A Democratic congressman is calling on the Drug Enforcement Agency to complete its marijuana review as swiftly as freaking possible and abide by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services recommendation to reclassify cannabis under Schedule 3. In a letter sent to DEA Administrator Ann Milgram on Thursday, Representative Steve Cohen said he appreciated the opportunity to address the rescheduling review process during a House subcommittee hearing. She testified at last July, but that he wants the agency to move more quickly to complete the job. Since the hearing, HHS completed its scientific assessment of cannabis and advised DEA to move it from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3 under the Controlled Substance Act. Sound like they're taking a couple steps forward.
Man, move. Keep on going forward.
You know what I'm saying?
California shuts down testing at most pot labs in the state. What? On January 1st, California shut down testing of popular products at a majority of pot labs previously certified to check the potency of cannabis flower in a drastic move intended to combat widespread labeling scams in the industry. For years, the state's legal industry has faced allegations that labs often artificially increase the amount of THC they've found in cannabis products in order to increase their values. Man, there's always something going on. To fight the problem, California's Department of Cannabis Control has now rolled out new requirements for testing cannabis flower, the smokable form of the drug, of the medicine, you know what I mean? Which includes bud and non-infused pre-rolls. As of January 3rd, only 13 of the state's 38 labs that had met the new requirements. According to the DCC's website, non-compliant labs can still test other products, including edibles and vape pens, but until they prove they can meet the new standards, they'll be blocked from testing flower, by far the most popular category of legal weed. It damn sure is. And I mean, man, just get y'all shit together, man. Let's make sure this shit is right, man, so we can keep moving forward. It's always like some kind of monkey wrench to where
we don't know what the
something
going on there looking for. They can be making up this shit.
Man, for
ain't nothing
real.
wrong with that weed.
Man, move on.
Oh, bill reintroduced to legalize cannabis cafes in California. An elected official in San Francisco is bringing back a bill that aims to legalize cannabis cafes in the state of California. Assembly member Matt Haney previously introduced the bill AB 374 that would have allowed Amsterdam-style cafes where people could consume marijuana. It passed in the state assembly and Senate, but was voted by Governor Newsom in October. Vetoed by Governor Newsom in October. Newsom cited concerns about workers having rights to a smoke-free environment. I mean, shit, you should have, it's probably be smokers that's working there. But anyway, Haney is now collaborating with the Department of Cannabis Control and Newsom's office to create a bill that allows cannabis cafes while protecting workers' health. One country that has seen success with cannabis lounges is the Netherlands, which legalized cannabis cafes in the 1970s. The country managed to kill its legal cannabis black market with the legalization while driving tourism to the country. The Netherlands has more then 700 cannabis cafes where tourists spend upwards of $1 million each year, of $1 billion each year. That sound like they like, you know what I'm saying, kind of made it kind of cool. Is legally accessible. You can actually go out to these little cafes, lounges, however you want to put it, smoke, probably eat, everything else. I mean, pay attention.
Man, for real. For real.
Oh, that shit.
I was
Stuck.
premature. Ooh. Study shows cannabis can make workouts more fun, but it's no performance enhancer. A bit of weed before a workout can boost motivation and make exercise more enjoyable. But if performance is the goal, it may be best to skip that joint. That's the takeaway of the first ever study to examine how legal, commercially available cannabis shapes how exercise feels. The study of 42 runners published December 29th in the journal Sports Medicine comes almost exactly 10 years after Colorado became the first state to commence legal sales and of recreational marijuana. At the time when cannabis users increasingly reported mixing it with workouts. The bottom line finding is that cannabis before exercise seems to increase positive mood and enjoyment during exercise. That's true. Whether you use THC or CBD, but THC products specifically may make exercise feel more effortful. Damn, effortful. Said first author Laura Gibson, a research fellow with CU's Center of Health and Addiction, Neuroscience, Gene and Environment. The findings and previous research by the team seems to defy long-held stereotypes that associated cannabis with couch lock. That's when you smoke indica. For people that don't know, that's when you smoke indica and get that couch lock. You know what I mean? And instead raise a intriguing question. Could the plant play a role in getting people moving? I mean, like for me personally, you know, when I've worked out and smoked before my workout, you know, it does seem a little bit more enjoyable. You get through it a little better, you know what I'm saying? But
I'm happy that they stated it like that, though. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? It's like if it's something that's gonna be more enjoyable for you,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're gonna enjoy doing it.
Yep.
You ain't gonna like, oh fuck, I gotta do
Do
this
that.
workout.
Yeah.
Hit your joint and be like, ah, yeah. But don't be looking for no performance
Performance.
enhancer.
Yep.
That's like shit.
Legit.
You know what I'm saying?
On the
In
real.
my book.
Yep. Moving
Florida employees can be fired for using medical cannabis. Will that change anytime soon? In 2021, Samuel E. Velez Ortiz, a corrections officer with the Florida Department of Corrections, was fired when a random drug test flagged him for cannabis metabolites. While he continues to challenge his termination in state courts, a new bill filed by South Florida Democratic State Senator Tina Pelosi would ensure that such an action couldn't happen in the future to a state employee who is also a medical marijuana patient. Oh, dang, that's cool.
on.
Um, the Employee Protection Act, Senate Bill 166, will give state employees protection against adverse employment action based solely on an employee or a job applicant who is a qualified patient for his or her use of medical marijuana. Now, that's a qualified patient, meaning, you know what I'm saying, you like actually have doctor recommendations and, you know, all the good shit. Pelosi has filed similar legal legislation that would have provided employee protections for all Floridians who are medical cannabis patients, but the current version is limited only to workers employed by state agencies. When it comes to marijuana policy, the GOP seems content to pat themselves on the back for a job well done, despite a industry rife with corruption, a lack of diversity, and the continued discrimination of nearly 1 million medical marijuana patients in both employment and medical treatment, he told the Phoenix. There are over 800,000 qualified medical marijuana patients, according to state's Office of Medical Marijuana Use.
It's a lot of people.
Man, it is. I mean, it's like if you're thinking you're having it hard for recreational use, this sucks.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If you actually like medically diagnosed and medically prescribed, not subscribed, but prescribed this stuff, and then you gotta reap these repercussions for like how you gotta get your medicine, keep a roof over your head, put food in your belly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on, y'all gotta get that shit together.
Man.
That's your weekly news with Serpo Jr.
Big J.
Baby.